Right, ladies, get it in, Joe. All right. Take that ribbon from your head. Take it loose and let it fall. How's she cotton, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? How we know? How's she cotton, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? This is what I'm fishing with now this morning. The water is a bit heavy, but this is what I'm fishing with. It's like a mimic of a trout or something, a plug bait, and a single hook. Matter of fact, I must squeeze in the barb down that now with the pliers in a second. But anyway, look at the setup, lads. Look at the size of the swivel and the whole lot hanging off it. Some people now would look at me and say, look at that fella above there, lad. Did you see your man above, lads? He haven't a clue. A clue he haven't. Side fishing with a pike bet he was and a worm hook hanging off it. Man know what he's doing. Big massive swivel and everything hanging off it. Fella having a clue. That's what they're thinking, and I'm thinking, that's the way the keeper buys. Keep her that way, that's the way I like her. Man having a clue what he's doing. We in here now and I see having a clue. Some job of a hook him here, lads. Oh, I'll have to run back along the river. Big rocks out there, a couple of big rocks. And fish hold around them rocks. Be anywhere around them. She's dropping anyway, lads. So the thing about this river, it can rise very fast and it drops very fast, providing you're not constantly getting rain up the country, like, you know. But you were, so I kept bringing it up and down, but if it stays dry for a few hours now, she should drop off. She's a little bit heavy yet, you see. A little bit heavy. To try and fish properly knows what it is. Fish can come into that no problem if you want it to. It's just the water's been heavy for fishing in. Right, so fishermen in the world, it is 10:25. The water's rising again. When I got here, the brother had a marker down yesterday and the water was just lapping at the top of the marker. I checked it about 45 minutes later, it was about an inch below, so I dropped an inch. Now I went back here and checked it again, it's back up to where it was when I got here. So it's a bit heavy. So I mean, like, I'll have a cup of tea. I haven't got much hopes now for today, and that's the truth. You usually have high hopes, but that's going up and down. It's too heavy as it is, like you're kind of stuck to the one spot there, along there, like you can't go up the river. I mean, you can go off up along, but it's still heavy up along Kilnagareth there, and if you went up to Anna, well, you want a kayak to go around the place up there, literally, I'd say. Them little yachts are majestic, like. You're a ball of them. I think it's about €3 for about 30 out of them. I mean, you can break them in half if you want and you still light the fire, you know what I mean? You could turn it to double, but I just slabs them in there. Get her up and running. And in fairness, you don't even need a full one, like if your sticks are dry, you don't really. But sure, you get her up and blazing, and we won't mess around this morning with my majestic cup of tea on the go. So I brought out a new cam with me because I burnt the one a bit much yesterday. You should always heat them first, like when I left it on, I burnt the ring out of it and it was black on the inside. It was the cleverest thing to be throw a small drop of water and whoo, she's red already. Man! A small little binge in it like that, see, so you can grab it with the pliers. Already. Lots of water in like that. Give it a rinse. Back up there like that. And that's ideal. See these litre bottles of water? When you go out on your own, they're grand. What me and the brother does now is I'll carry one in my bag and he'll carry one in his bag. There you go, lads. We'll never short the water then. A couple of cups of tea through there, you get about 3 cups of tea out of that. That's all you need in a day. Obviously bring other stuff, juice to drink. Now, boys. A little thing there. Like you can't bear them, just a cup of tea here in the office this morning, lads. As per usual. No Irish breakfast there. There's a bit of writing on this here, lads. I'll read it for you, right? Peacock here, get me. We'll tell you what it says. Symbolising immortality, the colourful peacock was a significant subject in ancient Celtic art. The eyes in its elaborate tail were thought to endow the bird with the gift of foresight. Whoop! Gift of foresight. I'll tell you one thing. I could do with it there now this minute because I nearly... Oh! Gift of foresight that, lads. Too busy looking around instead of watching what I was doing. Nearly hold it to fire and spilled boom! So I'm back on track, lads. Chatting away there in the water, spill out and filled into the fire, like into the fire it went. But boom, I have her back up and running, boys. I have her back up and running, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. She's bubbling like a good thing there, boys. Get up out of that, lads. Get up out of that. Nice roasting. Ooh, she's piping. Yeah. I said, always in a bottle. There was little Ian Perry's or something about it. Fucked out Ian Perry's. Just get the old bottle. Handy little bottle, you see. Majestic that there now, lads. Majestic. Put the lid on her like that, keep the old flies out of her. You up here a minute, chillax. So Shaka Khan, so as I was saying, lads, yeah, it's hectic here in the office today. Hectic, it's up the walls, you know. I mean to say, like, people are coming, people are going. They're literally tripping over each other there in front of me now this morning there. It's that busy in the office. I was like to throw a bit of bread for the birds, lads, no man. Yeah, but they like, big creep, come and get it, boys, come and get it. This stretch of water up along here now, we say the Barton's Bridge back there, and if you head up along there, they call that a monkey puzzle, because there used to be a big tree there years ago, a big monkey puzzle tree. Atrazine, right? A-T-R-A-Z-I-N-E, atrazine. Now, what atrazine can do and does do, it turns the frogs fucking into the alphabet people. You know the way the alphabet people are? Well, that's what the frogs turn into, alphabet people. If atrazine is put into the water with them, it literally, what it does is it chemically castrates the frogs. So basically anyway, right, they ran a test with atrazine and they put it into the water with the frogs. And they've chemically castrated the male frogs. That's what it basically done. It chemically castrated them and they turned the frogs G-A-Y. And slowly over time then, the frogs went from G-A-Y, they went from male, some of them turned from male into female and gave birth to young alphabet frogs. So basically what happens is like the ground gets polluted with it and then your food gets contaminated with it. And then you can eat it, right? And then you ingest it, then you get it into your system. I mean, and God knows what kind of effect it have on you. And then if you were to want to have children, God knows what effect it have on the children. Because if it can turn the frogs into alphabet frogs, it can also affect animals. It can also do it to animals as well. If we get into animals, it gets into the water, it also affects them. They become alphabet animals as well. So basically, if it's getting into the food and the food is contaminated for the last 30 years, there's a lot of these herbicides and pesticides and all the stuff that they'll be spraying into the land these days, you know what I mean? And all the fertiliser, and it's getting in around all the food basically. For the last 30 years, everything has been sprayed to death. And it's a wonder there's an alphabet boom of people. The alphabet people, there's a big boom. They're everywhere. Of course, a lot of them now are misled. They're being gender reassignment and all. They're snipping off bits and trying to add on bits, and the colleges are helping it along, and there's doctors and everything pushing this in on top of children. Oh yeah, and don't forget I said I put this in there. Always remember that your tap water is full of fluoride, right? And not to mention all the other chemicals in there as well. So you shouldn't drink it. Because I mean, fluoride does nothing good for you. All this myth about it, looking after your teeth and all that, do the research. When they're adding that to the water, right, they literally have hat suits on and masks over their faces. And they're putting it into the water, telling you, drink that up, it's good for you and your children. During the Second World War, the fella went that way, Adolf himself, he used to give fluoridated water to prisoners of war to make them docile. You might think you're getting up and breaking out of there, but a lot of them wouldn't, because one of the main ingredients in them relaxing tablets and shit like that is fluoride as well. So it makes you docile. That's why Adolf gave it out in the Second World War, isn't it? So know the truth, lads. You know what I mean? And the atrazine, and also remember, the playgrounds all around Ireland, right? They sprays the playgrounds, but Roundup. Now, Roundup can cause cancer. It's a fact. Get online, do the research. I had videos on it years ago, right? Glyphosate inside in it. So one fella was saying, oh, glyphosate is harmless, you know what I mean? Another fella said, yeah, here, have a sup of it. Oh, don't be so stupid. He said, I couldn't drink that. He goes, and man said, well, you said it was harmless. He goes, well, look, people often drank it to commit suicide and they wouldn't die. To be left fighting for their life, but it's harmless, they wouldn't die, says my man. So your man said, here, have a sup of it. No way, out of here, says he, took off the York and left. So, and they spread that Roundup all around the parks. You know what I mean? That's why you've got to be careful. And when they're in there spraying their parks, don't go near that for at least a week. Because, as I said, you should have a mask on spray and all that. It can cause cancer. And it's sprayed all over the parks, along the streets, they spray it all over the place. Even though they know how dangerous it is. Carcinogen. Boys, time to bail on out of here. Do the research. I'll see can I put a bit in the video here and there for you boys if I get a chance. So like, know the truth, lads. Know the truth, you know. Because I mean, don't think for 1 minute that the powers that be are going to tell you the truth, like. That's the gate, the powers that be. There's the gate there, right? We're all kept inside in the pen here like that. They're outside there, running free. And they don't want you getting outside there unless they have a lead on your neck, i.e. through your phone maybe, an invisible electronic lead watching you, going everywhere with you. Basically anyway, lads, that there. We're in here and they're out there. So keep it in mind, like, you've got to wake yourself up, you know. There are people here on YouTube who had that reassignment and all that kind of crack done, and hormone blockers and all that, when they were younger, when they were only 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, when they shouldn't have been allowed to. The doctors were literally pushing it on with some of their parents. And now they're in their late 20s and they try to bring out YouTube videos about it to tell people what effect it had on them and how they shouldn't have done it, and now it's irreversible. Some of the damage is irreversible, there's no going back. And some other people have a hope because they didn't go under the knife. So, but all their videos are being oppressed. Them videos are being oppressed, they won't let it out there, you won't see it on the mainstream. And it's wrong on so many levels that children can be laid down the garden path by the capital of industry to make money off of that child's misery, affecting them for the rest of their life, like into adulthood and on till the day they die, right? Someone can't go back, there's just no going back, the bridge is gone, there is no way back, and you're only trapped in your memories and your mind and what could have been and what should have been and what you shouldn't have done. And when people should have stood in and stopped you, they pushed you along the way. Said, no, go on in there and get that done. Someone is making thousands off of this, off of your misery and confusion poor misfortunes, like, you know. Different if you're an adult and you were like 25 and you decided, this is the crack for me. You know what you're doing then. Your brain's fully developed at 25, around there. Because your brain isn't fully developed till you're 25. You know why they allow people at 18 to do all certain things, I mean. Like abroad in America there, as far as I know, you can't drink till you're 21. But you can pick up a weapon and join the military, and you can wipe out as many people as you like when you're 18. But you're not allowed to put a drink in your mouth till you're 21. Do you understand? They get them when they're young, you see, because their brains aren't developed. They come on now and ask you when you're 25, 26, would you do this? You probably say, hold on a minute, man. Well, my ring. And then they're on top of them people for nothing. For what? For you to get oil and land grab and push in your agenda and push in your people into power and fuck up the country and leave millions in the GRFE, young and old, children alike. No thanks. When you're 18, you're brainwashed into thinking, oh look, you're doing it for the greater mankind, good fighting bad, good versus evil. This is how they get you. Your brain ain't developed till it's 25. There's a fellow over in America there now, right? They have him, the Biden cartel family, put him into power there. And he's the head over the, I think it's the military, certain parts of the military. And he's a M-A-N, pretending to be a W-O-M-A-N. So he's a vocal pretending to be a Colleen. And I'd be often thinking, the lads out in the ships and in the fighter jets and the people have to get out and get down and dirty, they must be thinking, what the fuck? When they look up and say, there's your leader there, lads, that's who your leader is putting into power to tell you the crack. Any other militaries in the world must be laughing at him. And wouldn't you? Of course you would. Man is supposed to be leading the charge, and he up there thinking he a woman. So how are you going to lead the charge? He doesn't even know where he's at with himself. When I looked around, I see the sky black like that, and I says, hold on a minute, bye.